John and Martha, it's the opening day for Skyport. It's been something that Jerry has been talking about forever and a day, and by that I mean Jerry Gregoire, of course, of Redbird Flight Simulations. He's been talking about this. It was a 20-week project to put this all together. It's here, it's real, and you folks have had a big part in all this. What does this mean to you, and what are your observations as this thing gets its start?
Well, you know, there are a lot of events in our lives we can remember before and after. And we can remember before the computer, and we can remember before Steve Jobs came along and gave us so many things. And we're going to have a before and after in aviation, because Jerry Gregoire has come along from his computer background, and he's going to apply Moore's Law to general aviation. And from this very exciting moment on, aviation flight training for general aviation will have changed, and we're going to say before or after this event took place.
The really exciting thing about the Skyport, Jim, is that it's going to be a best practices laboratory where Jerry and his folks have the chance to try out all kinds of ideas, some that have been talked about before but never done, and probably some really crazy off-the-wall things that they come up with that they say, it maybe works, maybe not, let's try it, let's see. Once he finds out what really works well for flight schools, for flight training, for creating a marvelous and wonderful customer experience that anchors them into aviation, those best practices he's going to make available to all the flight schools in the country, and that is really going to be revolutionary.
The DFC-90 all-digital attitude-based autopilot delivers significant performance and safety improvements over previous generation systems. Its innovative flight envelope protection guards against autopilot-induced stalls, and the straight and level mode provides one-button recovery from unusual attitudes for an added measure of safety. Immensely popular within the Cirrus community, the DFC-90 is now being made available for a growing list of aircraft including Piper Matrix and Mirage, Cessna 182s, and Beech Bonanzas and Barons. Fly with confidence. Fly with DFC-90.
One of the things I've enjoyed about working with Jerry and his people is they're definitely folks of color outside the lines. They're innovators. They're not interested in what has always been done before. You know, the old definition of insanity is defined by Einstein, the bit about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. They're going to get their different result by doing something different, which is an exciting concept. But the problem is this is one facet in a very large chain of things that need to really take place for aviation to reinvent itself and truly become a successful business again. Where else might we be looking for innovation from here on out to complete the chain?
Well, I think we're going to have to innovate the way we train people and what we're training people. A lot of people have been focusing on skills in aviation training, and probably our accidents are some skill related, but on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of accidents are caused by people not doing a good job of risk management. So we're going to have to change our focus on what we think a pilot is. And we're going to go from a macho pilot and a he-man pilot, or a he-woman pilot in some cases, and we're going to go from that to someone who anticipates the risks that they're facing and works out a plan to manage them so that we can come closer to airlines in terms of our experience on how we're doing on safety. We can make a huge improvement if we just change the way we think, change the way we train people, and I think simulators are going to be a part of that. We'll make a huge difference in general aviation.
The innovation is beginning to happen. The FAA has come up with an aviation rulemaking committee which actually will make recommendations rather than rules, but that's the structure they have to have in order to get industry participation. And what they're asking industry to do is to work with the FAA to help them reach a higher level on the knowledge tests, on the practical tests, so that the training of flight students becomes closer to what the industry feels is going to really produce a highly competent pilot in command who's a good risk manager. The innovation is beginning to happen in government as well as in industry, and that's very exciting.
We're going through a tough time overall in the industry. It's been a matter of bad economy and bad politics and a number of other things that have really depressed the market overall. But there's this question also about the value that people receive out of their involvement in aviation. what do we need to do overall once the basic part of training is done to increase the value proposition to a point where people are going to start paying attention again?
Well, we used to have an old Citation, which was a small jet, and people would ask us, is it faster than the airlines? We go, oh, no, it's not faster than the airlines. And then they'd say, well, does it cost less? We say, oh, my, no, it doesn't cost less. And they'd say, well, why do you do it? And well, we did it because, and we still do it, because of the experience it provides us. It gives us a totally different experience than flying in the airlines. And so what we can do to improve the value proposition for people flying is work on that experience. Give them that experience in every aspect of it. It's the little things like improving our customer service, improving the ease of doing things, making things happen. But we need to realize what we're selling is not transportation at a reasonable price or a cheap price. We're selling an experience. We need to focus on that experience.
One of the things that I think will help a lot on that is focusing more on the social experience after a person gets their pilot's license, whether it's the private license or at the instrument rating level, because it's a tremendous accomplishment, a tremendous achievement to get that, but then the question is, what now? What do I do with it? People sometimes need some help in terms of whether it's clubs or activities generated by the flight school to get families, spouses involved, friends involved, go places together, venture out together on starting with short cross countries and getting to longer ones so that they see the fun that they can have with the aircraft and just get in the habit of using the airplane to do fun things. And a lot of times people, after they get their ratings, need a little bit of help to get into that mentality.
We need to support each other. We need a support network. We need a sense of community and camaraderie. And I think that's what Martha's talking about. Now, these are the things that we can do, and I really do think we have an exciting future ahead of us, but it's not going to look like our past.
Welcome to Airborne, the latest programming initiative from the Aero-News Network. Hosted by Ashley Hale, Airborne is a visually stunning, weekly high-def newscast featuring guest appearances and commentary from some of aviation's leading dignitaries, as well as ANN's own familiar faces. With aggressive reporting, extensive video, and a number of special Aero features, Airborne offers truly engaging, fast-paced Aero-News content and analysis of lasting value to all of aviation.
What advice do you give to Jerry? This is his first day with a new business and a new enterprise and his lab. What advice do you give to him now as he embarks on this new operation?
It's hard to give a guy like Jerry advice because he's way ahead of a lot of us. He's really a visionary. But my advice to him is keep focused on that experience, and you've got it right. We don't know exactly what the experience is going to look like. The vision you have now might change, but you're working on the right thing, and it's just keep at it, boy. Attaboy.
I would say, to elaborate on what John said, the advice I would give is keep changing things, keep trying new things, and don't be afraid to change things. If you try it and you find out that it doesn't work, fail fast, if you will. Try it. If it doesn't work, discard it and move on to something else new and exciting.
Thanks, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.